So, hello everybody. How are y'all doing? It's warm, but it's not as warm as it was over in Arizona, so I'm glad to be home. I don't know if anybody's going to jump on or not, but I'll give it a couple of minutes. We'll go from there. In the meantime, I'm going to open my live on my phone real quick, and that way if I happen to miss comments on my iPad, then I should be able to see on my phone, hopefully. We'll see how well that works. Hello, Tanessa. Good to see you. It says that there's 3 people. Hi, Jody. Hello, loves. How are you? It says 3. I don't see who the 3rd person is, but that's okay. Hello to all of you. I'm glad to see you. Ronette. Hi, sweetheart. Hello, Miss Monica. Goodness. Maybe I need to do mine later in the afternoon more often. Anyway, let me find my live on my phone real quick. Mute it. There we go. I just don't want to miss comments, but I can see them on the iPad. So I did this like pretty odd setup. I decided I wanted to sit outside, and I set the one chair, and then I took the other chair and turned it around. Then I have my iPad case hanging over it. So hey, whatever works, right? So it's hanging in front of me. If by chance you see a little bit of movement, hello, Miss Emily, how are you? If you see a little bit of movement, it's because the breeze is catching the iPad. Oh, goodness, Jody, 5:30 in the morning? I'm so sorry you have to work right now. If you have to take off, I totally understand. And on that note, I'm going to jump in so Miss Jody doesn't, thank you, Ronette, so Jody doesn't miss, hopefully not too much. That would be, I believe you're seeing Rosie back there. I think. It's hard to tell backwards. The dark colored one? Yeah, that's Rose. Anywho, so today I'm going over House Fae, House Fairies. You know, the first thing that comes to our mind when we hear about or hear the word fairy is probably Tinkerbell. At least that's who I always thought of. After all, we grow up knowing about Tinkerbell to be this cute, adorable fairy who loves attention, right? Hello, Miss Ellen. Well, contrary to popular belief, most fairies don't want that much attention in real life. They're not these attention grabbers. They do live among us, and they can be found everywhere, but they like to hide, and they like to stay hidden. And then what I want to go over is basically taking a look at signs and possibilities. Are they already in your home? And if they're not in your home, how can we invite them to our home? If you want to, of course. We know how Jody feels about the Fae. They're little buggers to her. They're not very nice. Anyway, they do live among us. They're found almost everywhere. And they're not, I mean, because they're absolutely not limited to forests and rivers, you know. So I'm going to start off with a few questions, right? These are things that you want to think about. Hi, Serenity, hon. Nope, I'm just getting started. Just barely. Anyway, so let's think about these things. Are you aware of special atmospheres in your own home? When you're in your home alone, do you sometimes feel like you're not alone? Do your cakes rise and your houseplants flourish with very little attention. Are there corners in your house that feel especially welcoming, and at times your pets seem to be watching something in that corner that you can't see? Fairies can be understood as spirits of place, and if your home is on a ley line, now I'll do a quick, a ley line. It's also known as a force line or a mana line, and that is an invisible power line that conducts magical energy. Okay? So, if your home is on a ley line, which we have millions of ley lines throughout our earth, you may have them like many fairies. You could have hundreds of them and not even know it. What did Monica say? See, now I gotta play with the iPad. Corner in my room is like that from Serenity. Maybe I should do this on my phone. I never feel like I'm alone, but I'm always figured it was the ghosts. Now, I'm not saying it's not ghosts. It could be. But don't get rid of the thought that it could be fairies instead of ghosts. Because a lot of times when people think that they are being haunted and they're not actually being haunted, it's fairies. So, and then there's also times where we think that it's fairies and it's actually a ghost or a spirit, usually an ancestor talking to us. So, it could be one or the other. It depends on what you're most comfortable with, I guess. We'll go with that one. Anyway, and I actually have that in my next sentence. Fairies are easily confused with ghosts. But, although fairies may be ancestor spirits, true fairies were never human. So it's just something to put out there. And they were formed from the energies of the earth, ancient, wise, and they are often unpredictable. Okay, so now we're going to go into, do you have fairies in your home? First off, do you like fairies? If you like fairies, you're going to have fairies. They're going to come into your home. If you don't like fairies, they're not going to come where they're not wanted or not invited. They like to be happy. If you don't like fairies, they're not going to come to your home. And if you do, but you've never seen one, you probably think it's because fairies and other nature spirits only live in densely wooded areas. Well, like I said earlier, not so. They live anywhere and everywhere. They live in our gardens. They live in our homes. They live in our forests, everywhere. Urban cities, in between, the homes that are this close. They live everywhere. So now let's go over some signs that fairies are in your home. And I'm sorry, but I might have moved my notes around the wrong way. Let me take a quick peek here. Okay, yeah, this is where I want to go. I want to make sure. So anyway, nature spirits can be classified into wood or earth spirits, air spirits, fire spirits, and water spirits. Each category of fairy has a favorite stay or place they like to visit. However, nature spirits, such as a fairy, may decide to visit your home. If, again, like I said earlier, they feel like they are welcome, and if they do feel they're welcome, they could spend quite some time in your home. Matter of fact, they can attach to your home, just like a spirit does. They are spirits, right? Or I should say, just like a ghost can. And certain types of fairies can even attach to people, to a certain person that they feel connected to or feel comfortable with, or has found a way, using their third eye, to see them and connect with them. Rosie. So fairies can make themselves felt in or seen in numerous ways. And here's 7, I think I have 6 or 7 common signs to look for to tell you if fairies are in your home. Aside from, just the few little things that I mentioned in the beginning, right? So, even if you don't plant anything outside, but you notice plants growing close to your home, even weeds. Keep in mind, even weeds, but they're flourishing. They're doing, hi butterfly, they're doing very well. Or even if you lived in a highly urbanized area with no space for planting, fairies will make their presence known by blowing some dandelion seeds your way. That flower that is going to grow out of the crack of the asphalt, or out of the crack in the side of a building, Think of who put that there, right? Okay, that butterfly is really pretty. My second one, small and shiny objects suddenly vanish, such as coins or pieces of jewelry. But fortunately, they can be quickly found. They will bring them back. They just borrow them for a bit. My third one, if you have pets and you notice them suddenly, exhibit happy, energetic behavior, kind of like dancing, running, jumping around, just happy. And it's not, an everyday thing for your dog, and you're not the one that's playing with dog, cat, any type of animal, right? Well, during these times, because fairies are very playful, they actually do like to play with our animals. So I even noticed my tortoise, out of the blue, she gets these bursts of energy, and she's just going nuts in there and looking around, and I'm like, damn Fae are messing with her today. They're playing with her, I know it, but I know they get in her cage and play with her. Ronette says, I love to find new plant growth around the property. I know, I do too. And I'm always interested. Ooh, what did they give me? I love it. Let's see. Or with our pets, you start noticing your pet's looking sideways at nothing. To us, we see nothing, right? Following invisible movements around them. At first, Jax especially, my red healer, he's always following something. And I'm always looking to see if a fly got in the house or some sort of bug or whatever. There's nothing there. He's playing with the fairies. I know it. I know that's exactly what he is. Okay, my number 5, at night, or especially during sunset, you hear small, strange taps. And you can't find out where they're coming from. That's the Fae. Another one is you notice, and this is something a lot of us see, we'll see wild birds come and perch near the house, do a very quick, brief song, and then off they go. And I've got a couple of blue jays that constantly come back, and they'll just squawk and make a little bit of noise and then fly away. And then they come back and they do it again, and then they fly away. And I'm like, all right, Mr. Blue, is there a female you're trying to attract? No, they're singing to the Fae. They have a relationship with fairies. With all animals have relationships with fairies. And they have their way of communicating. So I'm going to have to, hello, Miss Gina. Now I have to look at my phone for the comment. Serenity says, yeah, my dog, Shoto, is it Shoto? got out, and he just bolted out the yard, and I came back happy as a lark. He scared the crap out of you. Oh no. But at least Hubby got the exercise in today when we went to go get him. So Serenity, my dog, got out today, my Shasta girl, and scared the crap out of me. I got my workout, that's for sure. I had to run up the street and go get her. She wasn't causing trouble. She was just sniffing around some trees. You know, other dogs were barking at her. She didn't care. And she's usually the one to start trouble. No, not this time. She wanted to go for a little walk. But she did. She scared the crap out of me too. So tell your honey I feel him. I got my workout today. I've had a blue jay visit me the past 2 weeks, and they're normally not around here. Ah, well, say hello to Mr. J. Let's see. Ellen says, one of my horses is obsessed with fairies, or I obsessed. Always wants to stick his nose in random areas and not to eat, just to put his head there. You have a horse that is okay, that's what I thought. You have a horse that is very connected and knows where to look. The animals are very connected to the Fae. I wish I was that connected. I really do. Let's see. Aside from all that, I have one more with our finding signs of finding. Notice small articles of clothing and accessories, or we'll go with that one, suddenly go missing or turn up in an unexpected place in the house. You know that time when you're walking by somewhere and you see a piece of jewelry, or you see one of your rings or a bracelet or a shirt, and you're all, when the hell did I put that there? I know that happens to me. I'm like, no, I wouldn't have put that there. That's not where I would put it. It's the Fae moving things around on you. Because they do that. They're very playful. Very, very playful. They like to play. And they're also very protective, you know, which is good. You have them in your house, they're playing with you, and you can interact with them. Crystals and coins. Really, for you, Tanessa? Yeah. For me, it's jewelry. They do like to move my jewelry around, and I know exactly where I put it. I take it off, my jewelry off, and put it in the exact same place every day. Not so much with my crystals or my stone, some of my rocks, you know, because some of them are actually just rocks that, you know, shape of a heart that I found. But coins and jewelry for me. Yeah. But everybody's got their things that they're more connected to. Whatever you're most connected to is going to be what they like to take. Ronette says that always happens to me. Serenity, mine is rubber bands, like hair rubber bands and brush. Oh gosh, those buggers. Seriously, and your candles. Pay attention to what you're connected to. Things that are important to you, and see if those are the things that go missing. And, you know, a lot of people might not think that your brush is something important to you, but it is. It's something we use every day, multiple times a day even. So of course it's important to you, right? Someone always takes my runes. Ooh. Well, maybe they're helping you look at your runes and read your runes. My shoes are always found in the most random areas. You know, many times we chalk it up to maybe it's the ghosts. Maybe it's a spirit in my house. I swear, it's gotta be the fairies. And it seems to happen more often to not just witches, but people that are enlightened, people that believe, you know, because like we said earlier, if you believe, what was that damn movie about a baseball field? If you build it, they will come. Okay, well, this is that case. If you believe and you give them a comfortable space, they will come. It's the only way I can think about it. Tanessa says, yep, crystals for me, but they come back. Some don't come back. Some don't show up. It's almost never ghosts. Almost always the good neighbors. Right? Exactly. It's usually not ghosts. They don't move things around on you. They don't hide things from you. If a spirit comes to you, and I'm pretty sure that Gina's, going to agree with this, they're not going to mess with you. Well, they might, but it's usually because they have something to tell you or a message for somebody else. At least that's been my experience. But they're not going to move things around on you. They're not going to take things. They're not going to hide things. Fairies, on the other hand, they're all about that. All about it. They're gonna do it all the time. So let's see. Thank you, Gina. Yep. Fairies are very sensitive, magical beings that are easily disturbed by loud noises, human activities, and the clutter of objects. Totes agreed. Tricksters play with my hubby. Mine don't mess with my husband, but they really do get my youngest healer going. God, out of the blue, that dog will be trying to jump on walls and happy about it. He's not like trying to attack something in a mean way. He's playing. But what it looks like to me, he's playing with nothing. Well, sometimes it looks like that to me. Every once in a while, I'll see a flash of a light. It depends. I have to pay attention and concentrate. Kind of like the same thing I do when I'm working with zoning in to read an aura. I have to do the same thing. I have to zone in, concentrate with my third eye, and then I'll get little specks, little flashes of red light, which we're going to go over also on how to use your third eye to be able to see these fairies. I'm excited about that part too. Okay, anyway. That's my next one. So we're going over that in a minute. We're going to go into, so we're already figuring out, we have fairies in our house. We have fairies in our yard, right? Things are flourishing, things are growing, things are going missing. Some of them coming back, some of them not coming back. So we have established we have fairies in our house. What do we want to do? We want to keep them happy. What is the saying? Happy wife makes a happy life? Okay. Happy fairies, happy home. That is the way I think about it. If the fairies are happy in my house is going to be happy. And I mean my house as an entity itself. The actual house. To me, it lives and breathes also. If the fairies in my house are happy, my entire house is going to be happy. Okay? So now, here's some tricks to keep them happy. Show your home fairies that you value and you respect them, and you will be rewarded by a home that feels like a real home. Protective, welcoming, and safe. Homes are totally an entity. See? Yes. I totally, absolutely, 120, 50% agree with that. Absolutely. So, we want to keep our home clean and tidy. Now, you don't have to go OCD on it, but tidy. Little order, a flick with a duster here and there, just enough to show that you appreciate your environment. You know, like I said, you don't have to go OCD and, have a crazy spotless house. We live in our homes. Our home is a reflection of us. Whatever you're comfortable with. But tidiness is a good thing. It helps to keep our brains from being cluttered. It helps to keep ourselves from being uncluttered. And it helps to keep the fairies from being uncluttered. A little bit of thought there. Okay. After each meal, leave just a couple crumbs. You pick them up, dust them up, and throw them away later, like on the counter or something like that, as like an offering. A daily offering when you have a meal. You know how we always, you cut bread on the counter, instead of cleaning it right away, clean it up at the end of the day and offer it to the fairies. Bet you might end up with having a crumb, if you pay attention, a crumb or two missing when you come back to it later in the evening. House plants. If you don't have any, get them. Bring them in. You know what? Even if you have a black thumb, if you don't have a green thumb, it's okay. Let the Fae take care of them. If you make the Fae happy, the Fae will help you with your plants. It's so true. Each plant, literally, each plant that you bring into your home will have its own fairy living in it. And each fairy will take care of its own plant. If you have a yard and you have a garden or even just a flower patch or anything, a section of your yard, you know what I mean? Just let a small corner do its thing. Let a small corner go wild. That that actually encourages a variety of fairies to come to your home. You know, I mean, there's not just one kind of house fairy. There's not just one type of garden fairy. There's hundreds and thousands of types of fairies out there. And letting a corner, and I don't care if it's a 12-inch by 12-inch corner, if you don't have a lot of space, let it do its thing. Let it grow wild. Let the grass grow in that one corner. You will be inviting multiple types of fairies to your yard and your home. Always. This isn't always. It's a given. And I know I don't even have to tell not one of you this one. Be kind to animals. Right? I don't have to tell a single one of you this one. I know every one of you. Love your animals. Take care of your animals. Are extremely kind to your animals. Spoil your animals. And not just your own animals. I know that every one of you have hearts of gold and would never treat any animal, wild, domestic, belong to you, not belong to you, in any bad way, ever. I already know this. And, of course, the reason I say this is we go back to the animals, is that fairies and animals have a special bond. And I think we have a special bond with these animals also. All spoiled as they should be, Ellen says. Absolutely. Mine are extremely spoiled buggers. No matter you do it in your own yard, if you're growing your own herbs, you go to a neighbor's, they allow you to pick some of their herbs, or find herbs in the wild. Wherever you go, if you cut, or even inside, if you have herbs growing inside, does not matter. If you pick a sprig of herbs, always thank the plant. Just like a special bond with animals, fairies have special bonds with plants. This is why, when we had asked earlier, do you have plants that you don't pay special attention to flourishing? Because they all have their own fairies. So these are all just, these are just little things, tiny little things that you can do to help, keep the fairies happy, the fairies that you already have happy, and a couple little things that help to bring more in, right? So one of the other things that I do want to go over real quick is if you do have fairies in your house, most likely they are under your bed. not like monsters under your bed. So I have no dogs, but I have many neighborhood dogs that come and visit. You keep different kinds of treats for them. Aw, see? They know. They know who to go to. They know who's compassionate and who's going to treat them well. Yes. Atta girl. They know. That's awesome. I love it. Anyway, so they say that fairies they're going to take care of your plants. They're going to, they'll even stay with your plants, stay near your dogs. But for the most part, to my understanding, they live under your bed. They just come out whenever they feel like it. But that's where they can hide. They can be safe. They can be protected. And they can, like when there's too large or loud or high of a frequency for them, or even too low of a frequency for them, it's a safe place. So with that, I just kind of want to go over when you clean under your bed, because we don't want to hurt the fairies that are under our bed, right? So, and we definitely don't want to suck them up with the vacuum cleaner. So what I like to do is I like to kind of just sway my hand underneath, or I'll take the broom underneath the beds. Actually, two of my beds are raised up, so I have to do it to those two. And I just say, hey, I'm getting ready to clean. It's basically, come on, time to move along. And then I'll, use the broom underneath there, or the dustpan, or the vacuum if I have to, because I do have 3 dogs, and they're shedding like mad right now. So I literally spent all morning, I probably created a whole new dog with the hair that I picked up. And I did just sweep 2 days ago. And they are shedding so bad, I had to have created another dog. I know I did. I notice, I gotta open it on this one. Monica says, I've noticed my cat being curious and cautious lately about under my bed, but I've never invited or welcomed any fairies in. You don't have to be the one to invite them or welcome them. Remember, if you believe in them, they can come. If you have the same problem with endless dog hair, yeah, seriously, oh my God, they're killing me. So Ellen, tell me this real quick, and then I'm going to come back to Monica's thing. Do you have to, because I know I do, do you have to vacuum your bed before you can wash your bedding? Because I do. I had to do that this morning. Freaking dogs. I love my babies, but I hate this. This season kills me with them. Yeah, that was me this morning. I had to vacuum off the quilts and get all the excess hair off the sheets just so I could throw it all in the laundry so it wouldn't ruin the washer and the dryer. Shake it or roll it first. Yes, exactly. Okay, I'm so sorry, Monica. I'm going to get back on your comment real quick. So anyway, you do believe in fairies, and you have critters, and you have children, and they're going to come as long as you're not, and I know that you said that you haven't actually invited them or welcomed them. Well, you don't have to. Tons of dog and cat hair here too. Yeah. So you don't actually have to invite a fairy in order for them to come to your home. If they feel comfortable, they'll come. If they feel welcome enough, And it could not even be from you. It could be from your children. It could be from the connection with one of your animals, all of your animals. If they're comfortable and they feel safe. So if I'm not interested in them, would they possibly still be around because of the kids and the animals? Yes, that's exactly where I'm getting at with that. You know, because you're not the only one in your home. Awesome. You know what? We're just on the same page. That's all. Sorry, my hair is going into my armpit. Ugh, that feels kind of gross. Okay. I'm going to jump over to signs of fairy presence in your natural surroundings, like outdoor surroundings. You know, okay, so like I said, fairies don't necessarily have to live in nature. In some instances, they may decide to make their way into urban, well-developed areas. And for the reasons can completely vary from one fairy to the next. You know, they just like most entities, they still have minds of their own, right? And do what they want. So, in the wild, we'll call it. So in the outdoors, outside, nature, your yard, even though it's yours, it's still outdoor, it's still the wild for a fairy, right? These are the signs that we're going to look for. Certain calm or sweet feel to the environment, an area that you're walking through, an area that you're standing in. You know, if you get that calm or sweet feeling. Out of the blue, a nice, gentle, beautiful breeze. And then out of the blue, it's gone again, just as fast. Oh, hello, gorgeous dragonfly. When in the forest, the rays of the sun passing through the leaves and the branches of each tree casts an unusual, not your normal common, an unusual magical play of light and shadow. And if you actually can see like a shape in that shadow, even more so. That's like, hello, I'm here. That's them, you know, actually grabbing your attention, which they don't commonly do. But I'm sure in cases they might, you know. If there are many fairies near you, and this is when you're outside, you get just a sudden childlike, happy, carefree feeling. They're helping you out. Let's take that stress away. Strong wafting smells that come from like a very sweet smelling flower arrangements or bouquets, or like I absolutely love lilies. Lilies have always been my favorite flower, especially stargazers. I don't have any cats, so and my dogs leave my plants alone. But I don't have any lilies planted here at the new house yet. None of my neighbors have lilies, but I do get that smell of a stargazer lily every now and then, and I'm like, oh, and they do. They're very, very strong, sweet smelling smell. So I know they're in the yard. They're hanging out. If you are highly sensitive, sorry, I drew a blank for a second, or you have different gifts, psychic type gifts, you may even hear tones, or a music beat, but that's not like a repetitive song that you can't get out, but just a sound, probably something that you've never really heard before. And I apologize, the wind is catching my iPad. But it's very appealing and easy on the ear, you know. Just a nice little beat or tone out of the blue, something that doesn't connect to anything that you know musically, and it just sounds soothing, relaxing, very easy to listen to. Signs that fairies are nearby. Okay, so that's what I have for their fairy presence in your natural surroundings. Now, I want to, wait a minute, where are you? I gotta go here, I gotta flip my pages around. Okay, so, I want to go over real quick, well, okay, maybe not real quick, how to see fairies using your third eye. And this actually helps also, which I'll end up going over when I ultimately do a live on, I believe I want to do a live on reading auras. I'm just not sure when I'm going to be able to do that one. So, but this will also help you get your third eye open to be able to see fairies, read auras. So anyway, so you're going to take your index finger and using your dominant hand, because you're pushing to open. Okay, so you're going to take your index finger and put it on the center of your forehead and just tap it gently. Close your eyes. Just tap until that is the only thing that you can think about, is that tapping. And then, when it's the only thing that you're concentrating on, you're going to move your finger in a circular, counterclockwise motion on that spot. Five, 6 minutes, 1, 2 minutes, does not matter. I'm going to do it. Stop, and then pull your fingers away. Okay? Now, this is something that you will do every day for just a minute or two a day. If you want to go longer than that, absolutely, go longer than that. And if you feel like you're not accomplishing anything, do it multiple times a day. The more often you're training your brain and your third eye to work together to open. So do a little bit of it. Do it every day. If you feel like you want to do it multiple times a day, do it multiple times a day. I found that I even do it when I'm having, like, I'm going to use my work as an example. So I've been gone away from my own establishments for quite a few weeks. I come back to just crazy busy. I've got one inspector leaving. Matter of fact, he's not officially leaving until the end of the month, but he's gone. He's already gone. He checked out last week, pretty much. So there's so much paperwork that needs to get done and so many plans that need to get reviewed before they can even start utilizing these plans. I have to review all these plans. And this is happening at 3 different establishments. And each establishment has 2 or 3 different plans that need reviewed and basically approved so they can make this new product or even start running. One of them, it's just so they can start running. So I'm reading a lot of plans, and they entail a lot. A lot of you know I work in food safety. So I've got to make sure that they're meeting safety regulations. Anyway, I did find myself a lot this week in order to be able to concentrate working on opening up my third eye. And by doing that, it was able to make my brain slow down and focus. So I started off with the binaural beats earlier in the week, and I don't know why, I just wasn't connecting with them. So I just found myself out of the blue, hand on my head, and I'm like, and then I thought about what I was doing, so then I just started going with it, and I was able to concentrate a lot better on what I needed to read. So anyway, just, food for thought. It does help with that too. At least it helps me, and it might help you also. We all have crazy, busy lives, and things get crazy, and sometimes we need that extra little help. So anyway, so I'm going to get back to, I know I'm rambling a little bit. You want to do that every day that you can. If you want to open up your third eye. If you're not worried about it, don't worry about it. But it is relaxing. Now, you've been doing this for a little bit. You feel that you've got your third eye open. Now, I want you to go over to your garden or your flowers. If you don't have an outdoor garden, your plants inside the house, anything that's got to do with garden, plants, flowers, anything like that, because they're always going to be there. They're always going to be around your animals, but you never know where they are around your animals. They're always going to be around your garden, your plants, and your flowers. Okay, so that's why I say go there. And just pay attention and look. And if you should start to see them, and that means that your third eye has opened. If you're concentrating and you still can't see them, you're not quite open yet, and just keep practicing with tapping your finger and the counterclockwise motion, and it will open. It will open. And for some people, it's going to open way faster than others. So don't be discouraged, okay? I'll be honest with you. When I first started doing this, I wanted my third eye, come on, I wanted it to open right away. No, it took me 2 freaking months. But I think I was also very stressed at the time. And I might have also been pushing it too hard. So relax. It'll happen. And then also, because sometimes it helps, if you're having a little bit of a trouble with the process of, looking at the plants and seeing anything, talk to them. Talk to the fairies. Ask them to reveal themselves to you. And of course, keep practicing. With anything and everything we do, what do we always say? Practice. Everything is practice. So then we come into once you begin seeing the fairies. So once you begin seeing them, you can actually now start to interact with them, play with them. Most fairies are happy, friendly, and playful magical beings. And they love to be in the company of happy people and live in peaceful places. Well, so if you are lucky enough to start seeing them, now's your chance to really interact with them. You will know that you're in the company of fairies. Also, if you get get a tingling sensation, and once you feel this, say hello. I do it all the time. Oh, well, hello. I don't know where you're at, but thank you. Yes, I do it in the store too, and I get looks all the time. Whatever. They don't know me. I don't care. I do it at work. I do it at home. Sometimes my husband thinks I'm talking to the dogs. He realizes I'm not talking to the dogs. Anyway, say hello to them and offer them your friendship. They usually, when you are able to see them, you're not gonna see Tinkerbell. And I'll be absolutely honest with you. If you do actually see a fairy that looks like Tinkerbell, oh my God, you have opened your third eye absolutely wide, and I will bow to you, because I've only gotten as far as seeing a ball of light. I mean, that is absolutely amazing, and I would be so proud of you. Because they say that they're, slim human-like form, some with wings, some without. I think that's just what, we created that a fairy should look like. I don't know if anybody's actually seen a fairy, but I know that I've seen lots of balls of light, and I'm ecstatic to see those, for sure. That was a big bumble. Let me see. What else do I have? Oh, and you can even stretch your arms out. Excuse my fatty arms here. Stretch your arms out, and don't be surprised if they come hovering over and around and even on your body. You can even start to feel it like a ticklish sensation. And that's a clear sign that you've been touched by the fairies. Okay. Do we have any questions? Anything else I could answer? There hasn't been very many comments as I've been going, so I'm hoping that means that I've been keeping everybody's interest. Okay, well, if we don't have any questions yet, I'll move on a little bit. We do have, there's many types of fairies out there. Super good info, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate it. There's many types of fairies. And then your most common are, been taking notes, your most common types of fairies are pixies. And they are the small winged fairies that look like humans. Those are our Tinkerbells. And pixies, so Monica, are attracted to small children. We know you have small children. Fun, animals, gardens, and flowers. They're also known to sip nectar from flowers and take household items from humans as a prank, only to return the items after they've had their fun. If they return their items. Because honestly, like Tanessa had said earlier, oh, thank you, Tanessa. I appreciate that. What does Monica say? Oh, I gotta scroll up. My daughter likes to look for fairies every time we hike. That's so honest. They honestly make me nervous. You know what? They used to make me nervous too. And then I asked myself, what am I worried about? Now, I'm still very leery of gnomes because they just remind me of leprechauns and they scare the crap out of me. But I used to be, when I was younger, I used to be afraid of fairies because I didn't really know about them. And as I got older and I started learning about fairies, I am no longer afraid of them, and I invite them in my home. And matter of fact, when I'm close to being done, I'll show you all a couple of things that I've made in my house for the fairies that live there. so that they don't have to live under the bed if they don't want to. I've actually created homes for my fairies in my house. So I'll show you guys those too. I think I've shown them a couple of times, but I like showing them off anyway. Anyway, so, oh, now I started rambling. So what I was going to say is, like Tanessa, some of your crystals haven't returned yet. Well, they might not be done with their fun. They might not be ready to return them to you, or they might feel that they need them. So sometimes they do need them. I have a couple of tiny rose quartz that I put by one of my little fairy homes in the spare bedroom. And every once in a while, I'll see it moved. Put up boundaries on what the fairies can and can't do in my home. And that's always worked for me. Absolutely. Now, I haven't put up any boundaries, but I haven't had them do anything, well, bad. So I haven't set any boundaries. Be absolutely honest with you, the second one of them do something bad, we're definitely going to have some rules. Be like, all right, you've crossed the line. Now we have rules. But for now, they're behaving. So, but you know what, Ellen, that's an absolutely great idea. And, Monica, it's definitely something to look into. If you're becoming interested in fairies, boundaries are great. Boundaries are a good start. They're a good start with everything. With everything. They're great with our deities. They're great with spirits. They're great with you have spaces they can't go and you put iron around it. Exactly. There you go. That's perfect. I really need to make a house spirit house and a good neighbor house so they each have their own space. Oh, yeah, that would be really good, Gina. And then maybe you wouldn't have them clashing, and maybe help settle some arguments, because we know that they can argue with each other, which can wreak havoc on your house. If they both want to be there for their own reasons, yeah, well, definitely. I love learning about them, and I'll support my daughter. Where'd we go? And I'll support my daughter and help her look for them on hikes, but I think I'm cool just learning. Totally understandable, sweetie. Absolutely. There's so many books to get and learn more. I have like 4 of them now. Yes. I don't have very many. I've checked a lot out. I've just not bought them. And some of them that I have bought, I've passed on to other people already. I'm not saying that I don't want to learn more about fairies. I just only have so much space. And what I've read and what I've wanted to retain from what I've read, I write in my book and then pass those books on to somebody else so that they can learn more about fairies also. So, but there's ridiculous amounts of books out there when it comes, well, for everything. But on the Fae, there are books on each individual type, even, which is kind of what I was going over here, is different types. Now, where was I? Because I totally lost track of where I was. Oh yeah, I was still going over pixies. Fairies. House fairies. So they're also very social. And that's why they say that pixies are actually more active roaming around compared to any other type of fairy. So then your second type of fairy that I have are gnomes. Gnomes and I are not friends. I had to make sure that I let Crystal know that when she did her life. I was like, nope, don't do gnomes. Don't do gnomes. Now, mind you, they do have their place. Everything in our universe has its place. You know, everything, every spirit, every rock, every plant, every planet, every star, every being, we all have our place. Anyway, gnomes. They like to play they're very attracted to rocks, and they like to play or hide between them. They're also known to protect and heal wildlife, and can be generally found in forests, dark places, and even gardens. Gnomes can move easily through the earth, which earned them the earth element title. I think that's the best way I could put that. Now, don't ask me why, especially after just reading that, why my fear of gnomes is existent when it tells me that they heal animals and they're good and they're this. They just scare the crap out of me. I swear that's got to be what it is. Okay, our next one is trooping fairies. Now, these are not your common type of fairy. It's said that they look like pixies, but no wings. So these are fairies with no wings. Trooping fairies earned their name because when they travel together, or because they travel together in troops. They travel in groups and in long processions. They usually, it says here, they usually wear green jackets. My battery's really low on this. So anyway, how do we know? We don't know what they wear. Did I come back? I hope I came back. Back again. Okay, phew. You know what? We're going to have to actually go in the room because I've got a little bit more to go over, and it says that I've got 10% on my battery. Move, Jux. Oh, buddy. No. What's it doing? And I don't want to lose you guys and have to restart. So, my charger's in my room, and I got to plug you in. I probably just made every one of you extremely dizzy. I'm so sorry. Okay, somebody please tell me I'm still going. And that I haven't died on you. Gnomes bloody autocorrect. Okay, well I got a comment, so. Okay, again, I'm so sorry. I probably just made everybody really dizzy and nauseous and... sorry. I had left off on trooping fairies. Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate that, hon. Glad to know I'm still here. My iPad was starting to scream at me, I'm going to die. Anyway, for trooping fairies, I'm going to get rid of the fact that, or the comment that says that they usually wear green jackets. I don't know. I've never seen them. I don't know what they wear. They could be naked for all I know. So that part I'm going to get rid of. I'm not going to quote, right? But I am going to say that they do love to ride and hunt. They live in trees. They can be very friendly, and depending on, that would depend on how humans treat them. Those are your trooping fairies. And then, of course, we've got the water spirits, which are elemental guardians of the water who look after rivers and other bodies of water and the animals that live in it. And they're usually harmless unless threatened. We don't want to do that, right? And then it also says that, of course, they're, as their name implies, they're very attracted to water and are generally playful. All right. There we go on that. Okay, so I will sum up everything that I've kind of gone over. There's many ways that you can invite fairies into your home. like creating a fairy sanctuary, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, leaving gifts and offerings, and using fairy chants or songs. Oh, I think I totally skipped it. They also absolutely love music. They love music. I purposely set up my house so that my music plays throughout my whole house on all speakers, the same song, all speakers at once. And I swear, my house, my plants love music too. I found that with my gardens years ago. The more I sing to my garden, the more I play music when I'm out in my garden, the more it flourishes. Well, I'm seeing the same thing inside my house. My plants are flourishing. My animals are flourishing. My house is flourishing. The fairies are flourishing. Music. Music is a big deal. Now, I'm not talking, hardcore death rock. It has its place. Every once in a while, if I want to be in that mood for a spell I'm doing, I play it. And it really does dim down the, darken the feeling inside the whole house. But then after I'm done with that, I really got to liven it back up again and keep that good energy going again. So anyway, I forgot to mention that. I can't believe I forgot that. Me and my music, and off it went. Anyway, so creating a fairy sanctuary helps because it lets them know that they're being welcomed into your house. And you can choose your sanctuary to be indoors or outdoors. Ronette says, yes, I love that music. I can't listen to it all the time, but when I want that mood, absolutely I listen to it. It helps. You can buy already made fairy house or build your own. Paint the fairy house with bright, warm colors, because fairies like colorful things. And adding additional decorations will help attract them to the new dwelling. Something shiny, or a stone or a crystal. Add something. You can also put indoor plants around your fairy sanctuary. Just make sure that they're fresh and alive. And it doesn't have to be there for too long. Just something saying, hey, come over here. And of course, if you're going to do a plant that's going to, kind of invite them, a fragrant one would be very helpful. But this is if they're not already there. If you've already got fairies in your house and you create something, or you build something, set something that you think that they would like next to it, and they are gonna, they might go in immediately, and you'd just be totally surprised. So far, each piece that I've made for, to invite them to live instead of that way they wouldn't be living under the beds. Thanks for I'll catch the rest. My little guy just got home from grandparents. Oh, thank you, love. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Anyway, so far, any of the pieces that I've made and put in my house in different areas in my house, immediately, it's like the next day I'm like, oh, you're already living in there. Okay, guess I don't have to put something to invite you to it. It's yours. They know it's for them. They just know. Anyway, if you're doing an outdoor location, they like shaded areas. So give them a space that provides shade. I can totally relate to that. I like shaded areas. I'm not too big. I love the sun. We know I love the sun, but man, I don't like to sweat though either. So I can relate with the liking shaded areas. And give them a nice spacious area, and it doesn't have to be a big area, just somewhere to be able to rest and relax. You can build, put a little house, a tiny pond, even rocks in your fairy garden. That's if you do a fairy garden. Possibilities are endless. Another way to attract fairies is leaving gifts and offerings, which are signs that you are giving fairies something of yourself. And traditional offerings and gifts includes foods like cake or bread and drinks like wine and beer. Fairies also appreciate art offerings, such as small paintings, small sculptures made of twigs, and small glittery items. They're just like us. They have what in my house we call OSD, which is ooh shiny disorder. If it's shiny, I want it. If it's shiny, my husband wants it. So yeah, that's why we call it that. Everybody in my house has it, or my household. And then the last way is you can use chants or songs. And I actually have an example of a chant that I use every now and then. It's good fairies, heed my call. Come to my home, come all. Sing, dance, and play, for you're welcome in my home today. Something small, easy, just a nice little thing. It works. It brings them in. And, I heard they like running water, so a fountain would be great. Right? Exactly. I think that's another reason why I end up with the fairies, is because you always hear the water from the filter from my fish tank. I mean, that runs 24/7. I make little chairs and tables and swings out of twigs and put around my garden. Aww, that's so cool. Yeah, one of those battery operated ones would be just perfect. And you don't even need a big one, just a little something, just something little is also an absolute great way to invite them. Okay, well, shoot. I don't have anything else. That's what I got for y'all. I'm making sure. I know, I love that. That is just so awesome, Jody. I mean, I like to make miniatures. When it comes to making things out of twigs, I'm not that good. But I do like to make my miniatures. I wonder if, let's see, if there's any other questions. And if not, I'll show you my couple of things, but I'll have to disconnect you from the power. Not disconnect you, disconnect my iPad from the power, and take the iPad with me to show you the couple of things that I built, the fairy homes that I built and made, and then sign off, because I don't want to just out of the blue disappear on you. Gotta catch the rest after work. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Jody girl. Have a wonderful day at work. All right, since we don't have show and tell, and then if you sell ones, let's see. Okay, we're going, and just so you know, I've made them, but I've never sold any of them. I've only given them away. Hint, hint. You know I love you, girls. Okay. Here we go. I swear. I'm so lucky you guys put up with me. Gotta try to figure out how to get this out of the way. See if I can turn the camera around. Okay. Here is... Turn around, camera. Okay, here's one that I made. I still have a couple little things to fix on it. See if I can... You can see inside. Actually set the dining room table and the chairs, and there we go. Try to see inside that one a little bit. There's a chair back there, clock, that kind of stuff. And then the upstairs. Oops. Come on. There we go. My light went out, but there's a little desk back there and a chair. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I actually I'm trying to make a tiny little garden. I'm getting ready to give them a little garden on the side. Using shells and stuff I'm going to use air plants. Right, for now my thought is air plants. But, so that's one that I did. So if I can turn my camera back around. Thank you. That's the big one. That's the really big one. Thank you. Okay, and then here's my small one that I did. And this one's on my altar. Here we go. And I made this one out of books. So I gave them their own personal library. Thank you. And I got one of my Where the Wild Things Are monsters inside. Because my other two are hanging out up there. There they are. So there's those two. I do have a couple more. I just don't have them up yet because we moved. And I know that as soon as I get them up, I'll make sure to show them to you because I know you guys would like those. One is a Alice in Wonderland theme, and then another one is a Harry Potter theme. So, like I said, my small ones, I thank you. They're not that hard to make. They're really not. I love doing them, but I do love making them. I get a lot of joy out of it. So, like I said, if there's a certain theme that somebody may want, or I'm plugging y'all back in. If there's a certain theme that somebody may want or whatever, and I'm able to do it, I'd be happy to. Why not? Hint, hint. Anywho, I love making them, and I loved it, working with miniatures. They're just a lot of fun. And for me, it's, you know, yeah, the book nooks, you know, they're really, a lot of people really like them, but for me, it's more about creating a little environment for the fairies that live in my home. Gina. You're a silly girl. Anywho, I don't know if we have any questions, anything that I can answer. Otherwise, I think I should let everybody else enjoy the rest of their day. And I've got to get back on my day. I've been trying to get so much caught up. I still have laundry to fold and a bed to make. You'll PM me. Oh, absolutely. Most definitely. And anybody else. I mean, I can't do them all in one shot, but thank you, Ellen. Thank you all so very much. Sounds good. All of you, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Saturday. Many blessings. Mwah. Oh, let me find that.